keep it 100 because it's time for Hub's Huddle Podcast. Listen to the man that talks sports from football to basketball 24/7, 365. He is known as the average Joe that knows more than average about sports.
What's up, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Hub.
What's up, everybody? It is Sunday, January 19th, 2020, and we are here. Championship Sunday, National Football League. Today, we're going to find out who's going to punch that ticket to the Super Bowl. Man, season's winding down. It's almost over. Man, excuse me, man. But I think we're going to have two good games today. Chiefs and Titans and Packers and 49ers. It's going down today. It starts at 3:05, There's a little bit to talk about last week, man. I had fun all week, man, with these Ravens fans, and I felt for Lamar Jackson, and let me go on record and say this, man. Like, I've been saying this for weeks, man. Lamar Jackson, if I said it wasn't gonna be Russ, it's gonna be Lamar Jackson's the MVP. Lamar Jackson's gonna be MVP. And like I said, man, I like dude, man. But it was the fans that just came out of nowhere, especially like in this area. Like, you don't really see that many. Like, I live in Philadelphia area, so basically, like, we have a ton of Philadelphia Eagles fans. You have a ton of Dallas Cowboys fans. You have a ton of, Pittsburgh Steelers fans. You'll see some Redskins fans scattered in. You got your couple Giants fans. You got your Patriots fans. But to this magnitude of Ravens fans that I've seen this year is the most I've ever seen. And I mean, even when they won a Super Bowl, years ago, and even the first one that they got, way back when, I have never seen this many Ravens fans until now. Like, did y'all just move here or what? But, and also the whole, the way they carry themselves. And I always tell people all the time, man, I say, you know what, Patriots my squad, man, but I can't stand a lot of Patriots fans because they walk around with this, nobody can beat us. We'll just roll over everybody. And that really annoyed me about a lot of Patriots fans. Like, I don't talk to too many Patriots fans. I talk to some that likes to keep it real, and we talk about the games and this and that. But just watching these Ravens fans this year, they walked around with this, oh yeah, we're gonna beat everybody, and it even carried into the team. Like, yeah, Earl Thomas, whoever we play in the Super Bowl, like, come on, man, like, really, dude. And then last week he threw the shot before the game, like, during the week to build up for the Titans and Ravens, and Earl Thomas was saying, I guess the Patriots wasn't interested in tackling Derrick Henry. That's not us. But then there's a meme floating around. There's a picture floating around of Derrick Henry turning you into a lead blocker for him, like you play for the Titans. And I had, if anybody follow me on Twitter, I had to go in at him. Like, that night of the game, I was going in, I was ripping him. I'm like, you know what? Next time, man, you just need to be quiet, man. Like, you didn't seem interested in tackling Derrick Henry either. Until you realize you got 6'4", 240, 50, 60 pounds coming right at you, you're not going to want to tackle that all night. Not at all. And that was just, but that whole game was just a shocker. Like, am I surprised the Titans won? No. Am I surprised how they won? Yes. They dominated Baltimore. They dominated perhaps the best team in the AFC. They dominated them. I'm talking about from first quarter to fourth quarter. Derrick Henry punished them. Listen, this dude had 195 yards on 30 attempts. Longest run was 66 yards. Ryan Tannehill, he was just a game manager like he was the week before in New England. Last week, Ryan Tannehill went 7-14 for 88 yards, 2 touchdowns. And it was one play where it seemed like Baltimore was like playing like 10 in the box. And Tannehill went play action pass and dropped a smooth dime, and it was like, wow. It was like, wow. Like, goodness gracious. Oh man, it was wow. I think it was the pass to that. I think his name was Khalif Raymond. It was a 45-yard pass for a touchdown. That thing was beautiful, man. It was like, wow. But they came into Baltimore. They beat up on the Ravens. Nobody expected it. I mean, like I said last week, I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they won the game, and I gave the keys for them to win the game. Like, they had to run the ball, and they had to keep that offense on the sideline. And like I said last week, they had to make, Lamar Jackson and that offense uncomfortable. And as you see, I think it was like the third series, they came out passing, and I was sitting there like, I'm looking around, and I'm like, hey, it's too early for y'all to be doing this. Like, they panicked way too early. And people say, oh, it's the rust. I mean, you know what, man? It's been teams that had the number one seed, that had the week bye, and, basically they came out, ready to roll, So I'm not tossing anything on the rust. I'm just going to give credit to where credit's due. Titans came in and they punched them in the mouth, and that's exactly what happened for 4 quarters. And, it is what it is. Now they're moving on to Championship Sunday, which today they're going to take on the Kansas City Chiefs, who, oh my gosh, last Sunday, man, the Texans should be ashamed of themselves. They were up 24-0 on Kansas City. And I mean, they had them on the ropes just wheeling. And they did the dumbest play call I've ever seen in all my years of watching football. And I know it's been some boneheaded plays, but when you're up 24-0, you do not run a fake punt. Like, you got too cute, and it bit them all the way. They ended up getting outscored 51-7. Come on now, like how? Yo, they went for a fake punt, and I'm sitting here like, why don't you just pin them deep? You already, with the fake punt, you gave Kansas City a short field because they were in their own territory at that point. And we sitting here like, you gonna run a fake punt. And I'm listening to the commentator, and they were like, well, this part here, when they went for the field goal to make it 24-0, and this part here, they need to go for it and do that. No, they were smart for taking the field goal. It's just the next possession that they had, they were stupid for running a fake punt, and that turned the whole game around, because once Kansas City scored, they didn't stop, and it was like the Texans didn't know what hit them. They couldn't get composed again. They were done. The final score of that game was 51-31. Kansas City outscored the Houston Texans 51-7 after the Texans outscored Kansas City 24-0. Like, that was the dumbest play, and that had to be the signature play of that entire game. Like, you know what? Like, whoever called that was just stupid. And that's, it is what it is, man. And move on to the NFC. The 49ers just beat up on, the Vikings, and, they shut down Dalvin Cook. They really, man, look, they beat the brakes off of Minnesota pretty much. And that was the early game on Saturday, and it went by so quick because it was like a beating. And it was just like, okay. Now, that Packers and Seahawks game was a little bit questionable. Hey, a little play call at the end of the game. They gave Packers the first down. I thought he was short. I mean, hey, but it is what it is. I picked the Packers anyway. So last week, man, I finished 3-1. Of course, the Baltimore Ravens lost. That brought my season total up to 165, 98-1 for the year. So we're gonna get into Championship Sunday now. First up, we're gonna talk about the Kansas City Chiefs at home against Tennessee Titans, and coming into this, man, I've been wrestling with this all week, and I'm like, the Titans, they do definitely got a shot to win this game, and I would not be surprised again if they did win this game. My head is picking, the Kansas City Chiefs. My heart rolling with the Titans because I'm liking what I'm seeing with I'm liking seeing Derrick Henry run the ball 30 times for 197 yards a game. This dude's making history. And I want to know if he can, on his legs, can he carry, this Tennessee Titans team to the Super Bowl. Now, you got extra bulletin board material here. And a lot of the, it does happen, man. I think guys just need to be quiet. Like I said, like Earl Thomas last week, shouldn't have made those comments during the year. The Ravens, some of them players, they got a little bit too cocky, and now they went out sad. Now today, during the week, you got guys like Frank Clark coming out, defensive player for the Kansas City Chiefs, talking about Derrick Henry, saying he's not hard to hit. He's just a big guy, 240, 245, 250. Honestly, he should be running harder at his weight and at his size. I don't see no difficulty in tackling him. So, everybody's eyes is going to be on number 55 today when we see Frank Clark going up against Derrick Henry. Who knows? Is he going to be tackling Derrick Henry, or is Derrick Henry going to run him over? Who knows? I'm looking forward to seeing that matchup right now. I just like, hey, look, let them two guys run an Oklahoma drill. I just want to see it. Are you going to be able to tackle him or not? And then you got Tyreek Hill on the other side. Earlier in the week, nobody can guard us. I'm like, okay, bro. Like, you guys are just talking now. You came back and won the Texans, beat the Texans. I get it. Texans had no business being there at the end of the day because they had a 24-0 lead, and they couldn't. Stupid. But it is what it is. We'll see how the Titans defense match up against this Kansas City offense. My thing is for Tennessee, once again, second week in a row, if you win that coin toss, you take the ball, you take 7 minutes off the clock, you keep Mahomes in that offense on the sideline. That is your keys to win. Run the football like you've been doing. Kansas City, they just got to smoke them. Like, that's their way to win. They have to smoke them. They have to get out there with a big lead and then just coast, because I don't think Ryan Tannehill is going to match Patrick Mahomes, touchdown for throwing the ball. Titans going to run the ball. So it's up to Kansas City to air that thing out. And that's what they have to do. They got to play fast. And defense got to be there, to do something about that run game for the Titans. And also, if they're going to stack the box with 10, like we seen last week in Baltimore, you got to be prepared for that play-action pass, man. So, I mean, that's my thing right there. This is going to be a good game. I think it's going to be, everybody's expecting the Chiefs to come in there and just roll and just, win. I think it's going to be closer than that. I'm giving a score of a 37-30 type game. Like I said, they have to score. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to have to score to win this game. And I, was sitting around yesterday and I was like, what if Andy Reid and his Chiefs team end up like the Eagles under Andy Reid? Well, they went to all these NFC Championship games and they lost them in a row. Like, this is the second Kansas City Chief, AFC Championship game in a row. Last year, they in both of them was in Arrowhead. Of course, how last year ended. So we'll see how this goes on today, man. I like Kansas City today, but like I said, I'm not gonna be surprised if Titans win. Hey, well deserved, man. So we'll see. Like I said, my heart wants the Titans to win because I'm like, look, I like watching that run game. I like this story of these guys coming together. Ryan Tannehill, was a cast off in Miami. Now he's rejuvenated in Tennessee. Derrick Henry's running wild. I like that. But my head's like Kansas City's gonna win. So I'm picking Kansas City today, 37-30. Next up, we got the NFC Championship game, which is the San Francisco 49ers. Taking on the Green Bay Packers up in Santa Clara, California. This is at 6:40 p.m. tonight. This one, man, hey, 49ers blew out the Packers in Week 12, smacked them around. I don't think it's going to be the same kind of game. I think, this right here, good test, Devontae Adams against Richard Sherman. I'm looking forward to that matchup. Packers do got a little run game with Aaron Jones, but 49ers got the best run defense in the league, so that's going to get shut down early and often. my thing is going to be Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball against this 49ers defense. And if Bosa and them guys can get after, Aaron Rodgers and put some pressure on them, I see 49ers walking away with this one. This one, like I said, I got this being close to. I think both of these games this week's going to be close. I got the Niners, man. I like them. I like them 30-24 over the Packers. I just think, 49ers offensively, the weapons with, Emmanuel Sanders, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, these guys, they got, Bourne. These guys, the weapons over there, they're working, they're gelling at the right time. The running game, Burita, they look, Coleman, these guys, it's just a lot of weapons for 49ers. And I think the 49ers is going to come out and win. Jimmy Garoppolo, second playoff start, last week was okay. This week, I expect to see more. I think he's going to probably maybe throw with like 3 touchdowns today. Get it rolling, man. But I'm picking the Niners 30-24 over the Packers. So this week I got the Kansas City Chiefs over the Titans. But like I said, my head is in Kansas City. My heart's with the Titans. And the next game, my head and my heart's with the 49ers. I don't see the Packers winning this game at all. There's nothing I can say about that. So my Super Bowl looking like, 49ers versus the Chiefs in a couple of weeks in Miami. So let's see if I'm right. Hey, it is what it is, man. Also, man, catch that UFC last night, man. Shout out to Conor McGregor, TKO. Second, I think it's the second fastest win in his career. Congrats to him. He's back, beat up on a Cowboy in like 40 seconds. He had a Tom Brady sighting last night too in Vegas, and of course, the Patriots fans. Oh my gosh, these people are in their feelings so hard. All this stuff circulating about Tom and where he's going to go at next year, and then every little thing about the media. They didn't move to Connecticut. They moved to Connecticut. They didn't move to Connecticut. They're moving out of Boston area. All of that stuff, man. You know what? I'm trying to tell people like, just relax, man. You know what? If he comes back, is great. If he doesn't come back, man, I don't blame him, especially if they don't build, a better offense in New England for him. So it is what it is, man. People just need to relax, man. That's all I got to say about that until then, man. Till March, man. We're going to talk about that. We got a couple guys that, declared for the draft. We had that national football. The college national championship on Monday night with LSU beating Clemson. Clemson linebacker Isaiah Simmons declared for the draft. LSU Thaddeus Moss declared for the draft. I can't wait to see what team that guy's gonna land on, man. Look, that dude's a beast, man. I like him. I like the kid, man. I know, coming in the league, he's gonna be compared to his dad, man. But I hope, he don't let that pressure get to him. I hope he just, go out and be Thad Moss and not trying to be Randy Moss's son. That's my only advice to the kid. I wish him the best. Like I said, I like watching him play in LSU. That dude is dynamite, man. But that's a lot to look forward to, man. Also, man, Luke Kuechly, man, he retired from the NFL. Injuries, man, piled up, man. Concussions, man. It's just like, wow, man. And, just seeing him give his speech at the end, he was, his little video that he put out early in the week about him retiring, man. It's just like, put in perspective, man. He's a young guy, like 28, and he's hanging it up. I mean, people, these players, man, they're valuing, their overall health more so than playing the game of football. And I love football, but just seeing these guys, you don't want to see anybody get too banged up, especially with these head injuries. Speaking of that, man, I watched the Aaron Hernandez documentary last night. I watched all 3 episodes, man. Wow. And first things first, man. Yeah, we know the murder, Odin Lloyd was, senseless, uncalled for. Don't really know why it happened. Condolences still go out to his family. It was just crazy, man, just to watch that whole story just like unfold of him and going inside of what he was like. And you see, like, he showed early signs of CTE, and that stuff's serious. And I'm not putting CTE as the blame for him killing somebody. He had a lot going on in his life, man, that, like, you know, you look at it like, and I'm not justifying him killing somebody. I'm just saying, like, sometimes you got to look at, you know, what a person is dealing with. Like, this dude lost his dad at an early age. He was like 16, and basically, like, his mom moved in his sister's ex-husband, and they had a relationship. Like, and when you're 16, that's the kind of stuff ain't gonna fly, man. Like, you know, he ended up moving and living with his cousin, and, you know, that's when, you know, all you know, crap broke loose, man. Like, he had structure when his father was around, and that's what he needed, you know. And then you could see, like, when he didn't have that kind of structure, he was a loose cannon, pretty much. But when he had structure, he was fine. So that's when they showed, like, him, you know, with the Patriots. He had structure when he was, you know, during the season, at practice, the games and all that. But then when he left, the structure was gone, and he was back to being him. Like, it's just like, you know, these guys, man, Odin Lloyd lost his life, you know, senseless murder. You know, he had a full life ahead of him. You know, Aaron Hernandez took his own life. And it's just like, you know, you start thinking, like, what could have helped him? I don't know. I mean, and then when they showed his brain and how the CTE, he was at, like, stage 3, and he was only, 27? That's crazy, man. Like, you know, we look at, you know, this game, man, violent game. I'm not blaming, you know, CTE on, you know, for him killing somebody. I'm just saying, like, you know, it's a part of it, because part of his attitude of him lashing out. 1 minute he's cool, 1 minute he's snapping out. Like, and that's one thing that, you know, people, you know, talk about, you know, Antonio Brown, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, you know, some of the things that you look at what CTE does, you see them lashing out. I don't know if it's that or if it's something else wrong with this dude. Like, he just stably unbalanced, man. But that Aaron Hernandez documentary, man, it was pretty good. It was like, you know, it made you think a lot. You know, he made you think about, you know, not only him, but, you know, also, you know, all the people that was involved, man. Like, it's just crazy, man. You know, you feel for, you know, his daughter growing up not knowing her father. You know, that's some stuff, man. But if you guys get a chance to check it out, it's on Netflix. You know, check it out. Let me know how you feel about it. Let me know what you think about it, man. But that's it for me today, guys, man. Like I said, enjoy this championship Sunday, man. I got the Chiefs and the 49ers winning today. So until next time, man, be safe, be blessed, enjoy championship Sunday. NFL is winding down, man. So sad times are coming. All right, y'all, man. Until next time, man. Thank you for listening. If you're on iTunes, man, this podcast is on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Twitcher, you know, everywhere. Just Google me, man. It's Google Hubs Huddle Podcast, man, and I'll pop up, man. I got news for Twitcher too. I'm setting that up. I'm going to start doing live video podcasts in the future, maybe in a few months. So stay tuned for that, man. You know, we're going to be live interacting with the fans, you know, with you guys. Come on in the chat room. We can talk, you know, and those podcasts will be loaded up onto the other platforms as well, so you guys can hear it if you missed it. So until then, man, it's your boy Hub, and I'm out, man. Peace.